Hi, I'm Emma and today I want to discuss two topics. They are inspiration and writing. Now I found in the dictionary that to be inspired means to be aroused to do something by or as if by supernatural or divine influence. I think that for someone to be inspired that they believe in themselves and that they can become a greater person. Then people can be an inspiration to others through their words or their actions. I'm inspired by so much in life and it makes me feel that I have the passion and courage and strength to do what I love and to make a difference in the world and see so many things, and I want to do so much. The second thing I want to talk about is writing, but not the writing that you do in class where the teacher writes on the board and you have to write it. Now I don't know when I found out that I really enjoyed it and I thought I'm not too bad, so I continued it, and I did an English subject at school which was basically teaching kids how to write stories, and I learnt how to get rising action and hook readers into your story. And ages ago I was thinking about things and I thought of a situation and I thought to myself, this would be really good in a novel, and so I started thinking up backstories and scenes that I could put into this book that I want to make. But I haven't written it, I haven't been writing anything, and I used to use the excuses, I'm too busy with school, with social life, I have no time. But what it really was that I had this idea in my head that it would take so much effort, so much time. Just because it'll be hard and challenging, does that mean I take the easy life and not do what I want and just lay back? It's not good, and I know it will take lots of work, but you gotta put work into something if you want to accomplish anything. I think people shouldn't stop what they're doing because something's a little hard, because then they're stopping. That's a terrible thing because you lose what you truly wanted and you lose so much more than just an occupation or a dream or like a trip that you never made it. So now I've taken my own advice and I've written a story, short story, just about a paragraph. So here we go. She sat there, barely moving. She was frozen still against the cold sheets of her bed. Her eyes were wide open with horror, but frozen in place. Her hands started to shake. The silence was torture. She dropped what she was holding. As it hit the floor, it made a loud noise, echoing around the empty room. She glanced down at the blade. It was shining with deep red. She started to panic. Her eyes flickered as they shook, fear rising. She found her hands drenched in blood. She then stopped shaking as she stared at them, getting control of herself. Again she couldn't move. Slowly her head started to look up, her eyes finally steady. She looked across the room, following bloody tracks to the corner. There she stopped, her head rising to look at a man. His eyes were open, staring at her, but lifeless. He was crumpled with his hand over his stomach, where there was a deep pool of blood. He was covered in it, his clothes soaked. The girl looked at him, her body rising from the bed. She picked up the blade. She picked up the dripping blade, but her eyes not leaving the corner, as if though he could wake, as if he could see her, as if he were watching. If it all was a game. He did not. He was dead. She knew this, but she kept staring. She was now making her way to the door. She opened it to a black hallway. A single tear fell from her eye. She then ran into the darkness. Okay, that was a little creepy and murderous, but I also write happy and cheerful things. But that was just trying to creep you out, sort of. But in my stories, I like the readers to feel emotion and actually think about what's happening in the story. I don't want it to be a boring book or whatever that I'm planning to write. I also love reading, but yeah, it's gonna be an awesome book. Thanks for watching!